Martin understood that, after all the recent events, June's unexpected return had stirred up old wounds he had tried to bury. In the vast Dupree estate, the atmosphere, already heavy with power struggles, grew even darker with the presence of this woman, bringing with her both the past and unresolved secrets. Martin, a man who had always longed for a peaceful family life, realized that if he allowed whispers and suspicion to surround Samantha, he would lose the chance to keep his daughter close. Therefore, the trip away with Samantha was not just an escape from the chaos of the Dupree family but also a silent affirmation that she was no longer just an adopted child but the heart that had become irreplaceable in his life. Samantha, away from the scrutinizing eyes of relatives, felt the unconditional love that Martin had for her. She no longer felt like an outsider but rather an inseparable part of the Richardson family. That rare peace also made Martin realize an important truth. Fatherhood is not measured by bloodlines, but by choices, responsibility, and sacrifice. Yet, in that moment of seeming safety, Samantha revealed a maturity that made Martin both proud and uneasy. When she declared that she was strong enough to make her own decisions, Martin suddenly realized that the days when he could control everything were slipping away. Samantha was determined not to let June manipulate her, but that defiance also meant she was ready to challenge Martin and Smitty, asserting that she was no longer a child in need of protection. This set the stage for a new struggle, not just between Samantha and June, but also between Samantha and the very fathers who had raised her. The surprising twist came when June returned, not only as a mother seeking to reconnect with her children but also with the confession that she was suffering from a serious illness. This truth was a double-edged sword. On one hand, it forced Samantha and Tyrell to face the possibility of losing their mother again, this time for good. On the other hand, it planted doubts in Martin and Smitty that this could be nothing more than a ruse for June to get closer and disrupt the fragile balance they had worked so hard to establish. In the tradition of Fairmont Crest's intricate plots, no one could be sure whether that pain was genuine or just a mask for a larger scheme. Thus, the Richardson family found themselves at a difficult crossroads: to open their hearts and accept a woman who had caused so much turmoil, or to remain firm and keep their distance to protect the fragile stability they had. The cost of this decision was not only in actions but also in the trust that was slowly being eroded. At first, it seemed like the writers were guiding the audience toward a rare moment of unity. Martin and Smitty, who had once had cracks in their relationship, now drew closer to protect Samantha from June's negative influence. For a brief moment, it appeared as though a family could overcome differences to stand together against a common threat. But, as is typical in Beyond the Gates, nothing could remain peaceful for long. June's lingering presence, coupled with the secrets she was deliberately hiding, gradually became a silent threat that could shatter the fragile stability they had worked so hard to build. If Samantha truly remained firm in her declaration of choosing her own path, she could unknowingly step into a dangerous trap set by June. The question remained, was this merely the impulsive act of youth, or was it a sign that Samantha was ready to enter a fierce battle no one wanted? Meanwhile, Martin was grappling with inner turmoil. He wanted to believe that his daughter had matured and was capable of making her own decisions, but a father's heart would not allow him to let go. If he continued to control her, he risked losing Samantha's trust. But if he let go, she could fall into a trap set by the woman he had never fully trusted. A tense father-daughter confrontation was inevitable, where love would be tested by pride and overprotectiveness. June herself, amid mounting suspicions, remained the greatest enigma. Was the illness she mentioned real, or was it just a clever act to set a new plot in motion? If her condition was indeed real, her passing would leave an irreplaceable void in Samantha and Tyrell's lives, especially since they had not fully forgiven her yet. The guilt of not trusting her, rejecting her, and turning their backs on her could haunt them forever. But if it was all a lie, this deception would leave a wound that would never heal within the Richardson family. Even a bigger question loomed. Were Samantha and Tyrell truly June's children, or had there been an exchange in the past that Martin had never known about? If that hypothesis turned out to be true, it would shatter the foundation of the family, throwing everyone into a whirlwind of suspicion and betrayal. Beyond the Gates has always been known for turning familiar situations into unpredictable tragedies. The story of June, Samantha, Martin, and Smitty is not just a family conflict but a reflection of what takes place in Fairmont Crest, a place where love, power, truth, and lies intertwine, creating a labyrinth that no one can easily escape from unscathed. Ashley and Hung Gao Ben Vien de Tre Qua Mot Quang Le John Nu Bien Dong Trong Tom Han Han Bat Ky Jido Na Truaktu. Kaiderik Nam Tren Juong Ben, Konan Thay Emotifan Qua Min Gon Bot Chat Che Voi Sumong Man Quan, Kong 5 Su Thuong Hai Hoi Hat, Mabio I Vitun Koan Kakyu Dui Quan de Dan Tuk Trong Ko Emotisu Rong Dong That Su, Emotisu Thay Tuk Muan Bovi, Muan Olai, Muan Kong Duan Doi Dien Voi Bong Toi Emoti Min. Du Kong Kan La Long Trak and Don Thuan, Ma Jong Nu Emotisoi De Vio Hin Troi Chat Hai Nu Weve Onao. Taining, Shin Su Gon Bua I De Keen Andre Cam Nan Aro Rong Su Thay Doi. Noi Danong Tung Tu Tin Rang Tre Tim Ashley Luan More Cho Min, Geo Phai Chung Ken Koan Kok Du Bai Chia Se, By Thay the Vivon Kong De Dong Chap Nan Vik Min De Dan Mat 6 Tri Von Thuok V Min Trong Tom Han Ko. Dam Koi Dien Are Trong Kong Kai Engan Gao, and Oim Wanu in Inveo Vogi Rang Tin Yu De Chien Tang Engich Kan. And Hung Boy Ashley, Kai Tiang Nak Lang Suong, Kai Nim Suk Dong Nguang Cho Cho Su Tin Lang, Kobat Da Tu Hoi Luan Hung Jai Min Vua Quiet Din Ko Phi La Tin Yu Dik Tuk, He Chila Fan Un Kwai Moti Tre Tim Mim Yu Truak Noi Dava Su Fu Thuak Kwai Moti Nui Danong Makota Gonbua Trong and Hung Gay Dai Tuet Vong. Derek, Trong and Hung Gay Hoi Fuk, Kung Bat Dao Kem Nan Su Mong Man Trong Tin Ui. On Min Ashley Voi Doi Mat Kwa Mot Nui Beat Rang Min Dang Julai Du Gi Du Kong Hon Ton Thuak Vi Min. Susiko Kwa and Kong Hoi Fuk Nu Mong Doi, Vasu That Fu Fang Rang on Ko the Kong Ba Geotero Lai Lan Lan Buk Derek Phi Doi Dien Voi Emot in Oi Solan Han Sietze Chet, and Oi Sarang Tin U Ashley Dan Cho on Chila San Fam Kwa Hon Ken, Emot Su Gon Ket Duak Hin Tan Trong Ben Tat Vayadui, Chu Kong Phi Su Luachan Tu Tre Tim Ko. Ashley Olai, and Hung Trong Long Ko La Emoti Chui So San Kong Dut. Ko Tu Hoi Min Ko U Derek Nu Ko De Tung U Andre Kong. Hey Chila Sude Dut Kai Bo Roy Emoti Nui Dang Kan Min. Doi Voi Derek, Wa On Mat, Wa Siu Chi Quan Tam Kwa Ko Vuala Niman Ui, Vuala Lua Dao Kat Veo Su Kio Han. On Losa Rang Tin Unai Kong Zut Fat Tu Su Kao Kat, Ma Chila Long Thuong Hai, Va Du Du Kinan Kem Thay Min Kong Du Tu Ketch De Ju Ko Olai. Trong Sao Tam, on Jong Exijua Hai Kan Duong, Buong Te De Jai Tho Cho Ashley, Hey Ko Bam Via De Kong Mat Di Thursday Tin Umong Man Ma on Tung Duok Nem Tre. Andre, Dubai Gatare Nigwe, Kung Kong De Dong Bien Mat Koi Vong Zoe Tin Cam Nai. Chin on Kung Kong Chuk Rang Thursday on Dan Cho Ashley Ko Phi La Tin Unong Nan He Chi La Su Gwin Luyen Kwa Moni Tin Ban Vut Kwa Gioihan. And Hung Su Tro Lai Kwa on Chuk Chan Sikwe Dong Tat Ca. Nu Ashley Tim Den on Trong and Hung Koan Ka Koigi, Andre Ko the Tro Tan Ben Du, Ho Ko the Bien Tan Chi Kwang Soi Chiu Su Lak Long Kwako, King Ko Tsang Chim Sa Trong Bong Zoe Tu Van Ben Then. Dam Kwai Suk Dong Kwa Ashley Va Derek, Von Duok Moi Nu Min Thay Nu Emodibu Tuong Kwa Tin Yuvud Len Tren Angich Kan, Ko the Chila Su Voi Vie Trong Modi Koan Kak Mi Mu. No Ko the Tro Tan Koi Dao Cho Emoted by Kich Tin Yu Kiodai, Noicaba Nu Wedu by Troy Biep Trong Emoti Tam Giak Kam Suk Kong Loithot, Emoti Nui Kao Kat Duakyu That Suan Hong Kong Chuk Min Sung Dang, Emoti Nui Muan Chung Min Rang Tin Yu Kwa Min Kong Phai Chila Long Thuong Hai, Vimoti Nui Kok Dung Nigway and Hung Van La Bong Hin Em on Kong the Zoanoa. Trom the Gioi Day by Kich Kwa Fairmont Crest, Tin Yu Hin Kai Den Nu Emoti Mon Kwa Trong Sang. No Thuong Zat Hien Nu Emoti Su Lua Chan Ko Kan, Emoti Gan Nang Phi Mang Theo, Hok Emoti Tro Choi Din Men Ma Kong Ai Ko the Du Don Ket Siusi. Ashley clearly felt a shift in her emotions as Derek gradually recovered. When he began to have clearer moments, their conversations ceased to be mere pleasantries and became genuine exchanges, where they shared the deep, unspoken pains neither had dared to reveal before. Derek, despite always carrying the strength of a man who had fought through adversity, now showed a rare vulnerability. He was not only a man in need of help but also someone seeking a foundation in Ashley, a person who could help him face the truth that he may never fully recover. Their talks about life, loneliness, and unspoken fears truly moved Ashley. This feeling wasn't mere pity, but real love, a longing to be with a man who was seeking salvation, not just from his health but also from emotional wounds. However, soon doubts began to creep into Ashley's heart. Was she truly in love with Derek, or was it because of his weakness that she felt the need to protect him? She asked herself if she was seeking comfort in a relationship where the other person needed protection, or if it was a deeper, more profound love she hadn't yet fully recognized. The wedding, though deeply emotional, became a big question mark for her. Was it an act of the heart, or just a hasty decision to avoid confronting the emptiness she felt during moments of confusion? Ashley didn't have an answer. She was with Derek because of her feelings, yet in her heart, she couldn't stop comparing him to Andre, who had once been everything to her. Even though they had broken up and accepted the end of their relationship, her heart couldn't fully let go. The memories of Andre still lingered, not because she didn't love Derek, but because she felt the irreplaceable absence of the man she had once placed all her trust and love in. Derek, though he recognized Ashley's feelings for him, also began to sense a growing distance in their relationship. He couldn't escape feelings of inadequacy, wondering if he was enough to keep her, or if everything was just filling the empty spaces in her soul when she saw him weak, unable to stand on his own. He worried that Ashley's love for him wasn't because of who he was, but because of his need for protection. Derek, during long, sleepless nights, wondered if he could continue living in that pity, or if he should let go, so Ashley could find a true love, one she truly deserved. This feeling became even stronger as Derek's health declined, and he was forced to face the reality that he might never fully recover. This was not just a shock to him, but a huge concern for Ashley as well. She stayed, not because she didn't love Derek, but because she didn't want to leave him when he needed help the most. But this also made her feel exhausted. She didn't want to live in guilt, didn't want to watch Derek grow weaker without being able to do anything. The feeling that her love for him might only be pity, that she was staying because he needed protection, slowly weighed down on her heart. And then, Andre returned. His return wasn't just a shock to Ashley but also a major challenge to her loyalty to Derek. Seeing Andre reappear in her life again, Ashley couldn't help but compare him to Derek. Was Andre truly the right person for Ashley, or would he just pull her into a spiral of self-doubt? At this point, Ashley began to realize more clearly that love wasn't simply about the presence of someone in her life. It was also about facing herself, about unresolved emotions, and the choices she hadn't yet dared to make. With Andre, everything seemed simpler. He didn't need to worry about health issues, and there were no external factors affecting the feelings between them. But was the love Ashley had for Andre really love, or was it just the lingering attraction from a once deep relationship, something she couldn't let go of right away? And was she willing to leave everything behind to return to a man who had once broken her heart, even if just a part of it from the past? From Derek's perspective, Andre's presence was like a challenge to him and the love he had for Ashley. He couldn't help but wonder if Ashley's love for him really came from her heart, or if it was just the response of a woman wanting to protect a weak man. Andre's presence not only made Derek feel threatened, but it also forced him to confront the difficult question: was he the only choice for Ashley, or could she find happiness with a stronger man, one who didn't always need her protection? The love between Ashley and Derek, though deeply emotional, was not without its cracks. Meanwhile, the relationship between Ashley and Andre, although over, could never be fully cut off. It lingered like a ghost, always appearing when she was weak and in need of comfort. The wedding between Ashley and Derek might have been a beginning, but it could also be the end of a love tragedy that was never truly complete. Between love and pity, between choice and dependence, would Ashley find the right path for herself, or would she continue to be swept into the vortex between two men whom she loved in different ways?